Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is December the 19th, 2024, and today we're back in the kitchen, so it means we're doing a little bit more baking. I received a recipe from Olya in Poland for Minutka cookies. I'll put that along the bottom, Minutka cookies. It says one of her favorites, so I thought I'd give it a try. It looks like it's easy and not a lot of ingredients, so maybe you'll be able to do it yourself over the holidays as well. I've already gotten some of the things prepped out. We've got whole wheat flour back there, so I'm gonna move stations over. We're gonna do the first stage, which is putting the flour, the vanilla, and the salt together and mix that up. First thing Olya's recipe calls for is 1 cup of whole wheat flour. So there's our cup of whole wheat flour. Then it asks for 1/4 teaspoon, I can find the 1/4 teaspoon here, of vanilla. So there's my vanilla. And 1/4 teaspoon, so not very much. Add that to the flour. And then it just says a very little, but not even necessary, amount of salt. So we're going to give a very little amount, just to give it a little bit. And then it says mix that up. So it says add salt, vanilla, and the flour. That beep, beep, beep means that my stove is already warmed up to 375 degrees. So that has been mixed up. Now we're going to get over to the wet ingredients. The next thing the recipe asks for is 7/8 of a cup of slightly melted butter or room temperature butter. It says put it in the microwave, not to a liquid state. I may have gone a little bit more. There is a bit of liquid in this, but we're going to add that in there. It is softened butter for sure. Scoop all the softened butter into the mixing bowl. There. We're going to see the next step is 1/4 of a cup of sugar. 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Add that to that mixture. Let me see what else it says. Add sugar and mix, preferably with a mixer. So we will do that. We're plugged in. We are not plugged in. That helps. There. Also, don't plug a mixer in. It's already on the go. So luckily it was at a low state. So we're gonna run that. You can see it coming along there nicely. It says until creamy and fluffy. So let's do that a little bit more to go. And then we're gonna add in the milk. So let's turn that off. So next thing we want to do is take 1/4 of a cup of milk. And she says you can preheat it to help mix in the, help melt the sugar. We're just add a little bit at a time. So we're gonna do that while it's mixing in. Put the milk away. Change the angle so you can see what is happening there. It's mixing away. Add in a little bit more milk. And it is becoming a little whiter. So it says that's what you should do. It says stir until smooth. So it's mixing away until it's smooth. Next thing we're gonna do is add our flour mixture to the other mixture, a little bit at a time. Creating that dough. Turn it up a little bit here. Make sure it's all getting mixed in properly. And you can see and you can always use a spatula to get down the edges, which I probably will do after. So let's mix all that up. The next step, when your oven is heated to 375 degrees, you take the mixture. Olya suggests you put it in a piping bag with a nozzle, but you can do it any way you like. So I've got a cookie press gun that we're going to try it this way and see how it works. I assume they're going to flatten out a bit, so I'm just putting them in a rosy ball. You can make them however you like. the same size. We will see. It's a test batch. I'm going to do that test batch for 10 to 11 minutes. The fun thing about baking is the playing around, getting it just right with your kitchen. I did a couple that turned out like this. Nice golden bottoms, very nice. Not as thick as the ones that they show in the picture, but really tasty. They were done at 375 for 13 minutes. That's how long it took in my oven. So what I did is I boosted the temperature up to 400 for 11 minutes to see what would happen. Still have a nice golden, a little bit darker around the edges, but still tasty. So the last batch I put in, I put for 375 once again. My pans that I use, they're Pampered Chef stoneware pans, and sometimes they take a little bit of time to heat up properly. So I've reduced the heat back down to 375 and I've run it for another 11 minutes. But I can tell you, when you make some mistakes, you get to eat the mistakes. And these turned out really well. So thank you to Olya for giving me this recipe. And if you're interested in it, go try it for yourself. See what works in your oven. And I would suggest 375 for about 11 minutes. That's the key to getting it right. Just golden brown, just watch the bottoms to make sure they're just right. And pipe them however you want, whether it's with 2 spoons, whether it's a piping bag, a cookie gun like I had. Make an interesting shape. Maybe you even want to frost them after, but they certainly don't need it. They're good just the way they are. So thank you, Olya, for sending me the recipe. And you guys, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.